Hello students, quick introduction for this week. This is week 7 for our class, and there's the normal assignments that we're going to talk about, but there's one special thing I wanted to point out in the modules. So here is your midterm study guide. So this is your study guide for the midterm exam. I'll open it really quickly so you can see what this looks like. So these topics up here, they're open-ended questions. These are good things for you to maybe in practicing write an essay about, something like that. Make sure you review your notes. Essentially, the entire exam is multiple choice questions, but there are multiple questions on these topics. So the example questions from the exam are down here. So this is really similar to what you will see on the exam, are these kinds of questions. So with that being said, these are a lot of the topics that are going to be covered on the exam. So APA style, for example, that's one of the things we're covering this week. So make sure you review these things, review your notes. This is just an example of the questions to give you a little taste of what the exam will look like, so you're a little more familiar and feel more comfortable as we get to the exam in a couple weeks. All right, so week 7. So week 7, we are going to be reading Dunnenhallen chapter 11, but we will also be watching a lecture on the APA style. So there's 2 lectures this week, one on APA style, one on Dunnenhallen in chapter 11. And the APA style lecture really focuses on some of the key things to know for writing your literature review. So right now you're still in the process of reading material for your literature review, downloading articles, that kind of thing. But you are going to be starting this week with this assignment, the article summary and analysis. That assignment is a first summary of one of your articles, or a summary of one of your articles. Article summaries are one way that a lot of professionals do summaries of articles, so that they have those notes that are available to them. So rather than, say, opening the original research article, they can go back to their notes on that article and then, say, take some quotes or take some of their already paraphrased notes and write into their paper some of the ideas that came from that article. Always remembering to cite, and you'll see how to cite in text in the APA discussion lecture. So with that being said, the other assignment this week is practicing your APA formatting. There's a couple little guides, some tutorials, those kinds of things. So with that, our discussion board this week is basically talking about, one, you can have the choice if you're still confused on something APA-wise, ask a question to your peers. So it could be a pretty quick discussion board if that's the case, but I'm hoping most of you will be inspired to talk about the kinds of fields in psychology that you are planning to gain expertise in. So things like clinical psych plus developmental psych, like putting those together and talking about that in the discussion board. So those are some of the primary assignments: your PEP 5 on APA formatting, your article summary and analysis, and the discussion board. So do make sure that you watch this lecture. It'll be very, very essential for your literature review paper. And then your article summary and analysis will get you started working on doing your actual paper, taking notes for writing your paper. The other option that we'll work on a little bit later is actually called and for some reason the title of the assignment just left me, annotated bibliography. And annotated bibliography is another way to do notes as you read research articles. So we'll start with this article summary method, and we'll talk about annotated bibliographies in a few weeks. So hopefully you have a great week, and I will see you in the discussion boards.